sides of the political aisle. I talked to both the House and the Senate. And just by way of personal background, I was an appointee of George W. Bush, and I was a House staffer. So for me to talk to the Senate, it's kind of a big deal. But
it's a crazy time in Canada, right? As we learn about these Canadian federal politics right here on Question Period Canada. My name's Ehren. Let's get into this crazy video, man. It doesn't slow down in Canadian federal politics. Let's take a peek.
Opportunity to appear today to discuss the situation in Gaza. My name is William Dury, and I serve as Director of UNRWA's Representative Office for Canada and the United States. I'd like to request my full statement be made part of the record, and I will briefly summarize it. On behalf of the 30,000 staff at UNRWA, let me begin by thanking the Canadian people and its government for their ongoing support of the agency. Over the past 2 years that I have been running the Washington office, necessity has required me to reach out to the Canadian government on short notice several times in search of critical support. Each time, Canada has been there for us, which is part of my motivation to appear here today in person to say, thank you, Canada. UNRWA was established following the 1948 war by a UN General Assembly resolution in the absence of a just and lasting solution to the Palestine refugee issue. The General Assembly has continuously renewed UNRWA's mandate, most recently until June 30 of 2026. The recent independent review of UNRWA, led by former French Foreign Minister Catherine Colonna, concluded, quote, in the absence of a political solution between Israel and the Palestinians, UNRWA remains pivotal in providing life-saving humanitarian aid and essential social services, particularly in health and education, to Palestine refugees in Gaza, Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, and the West Bank. As such, UNRWA is irreplaceable and indispensable to Palestinians' human and economic development. Let me pause at this moment to discuss the differences between UNRWA and our sister agency, the UN Office of the High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR. UNHCR does not have a mandate over Palestine refugees receiving protection and assistance from UNRWA within our 5 fields of operation. Unlike UNHCR, UNRWA does not have a mandate to resettle Palestine refugees and has no authority to seek lasting, durable solutions for refugees. But even if UNRWA was to cease providing protection or assistance to Palestine refugees without a resolution to their plight, and they were to fall under UNHCR's mandate, they would still be refugees and retain their rights, including the right of return, under UN General Assembly Resolution 194. Even prior to October 7th, Gaza, with its 1.6 million registered Palestine refugees, utilized the largest amount of UNRWA services. Given that agency's existing operational footprint in Gaza, UNRWA has led the humanitarian response to the ongoing tragedy. On April 24th, Sigrid Kaag, the Senior Humanitarian and Reconstruction Coordinator for Gaza, told the UN Security Council that UNRWA is, quote, pivotal in providing life-saving humanitarian aid and essential social services to Palestine refugees. As such, UNRWA is irreplaceable and indispensable as a humanitarian lifeline and must be allowed to deliver on its mandate. The UNRWA fields of operation make the agency no stranger to working in conflict situations. And in Gaza today, it is UNRWA's latest, finest hour. Over 2,500 of our staff, most of whom have themselves been displaced multiple times, stay on the job, supported by an additional 3,000 Gazans, helping them as part of our job creation program. My UNRWA colleagues are present at border crossing, operating warehouses and distribution centers. They are providing critical support at UNRWA facilities still standing. Our health teams continue to work at our 8 remaining health centers and at 86 medical points at 56 shelters treating approximately 20,000 patients a day. Making the humanitarian relief mission even harder, the diplomatic privileges and immunities associated with the United Nations, its staff and facilities have been rendered largely meaningless in this conflict. In March, 2 of my colleagues perished during a drone strike on UNRWA's main logistics facility in Rafah. One of them, a husband and father of 2, dying while in the act of stacking diapers for humanitarian delivery. Today, UNRWA finds its work once again under existential threat. Even with the generous support from Canada, the agency only has funding sufficient to operate through the end of June. UNRWA Commissioner General Lazzarini recently told the UN General Assembly and UN Security Council the agency is facing a deliberate and concerted campaign to undermine its operations and ultimately end them. Recall, these are operations that are mandated by the UN General Assembly itself. UNRWA echoes the call of UN Secretary General Guterres for a humanitarian ceasefire, the immediate and unconditional release of all hostages, and a massive surge in humanitarian aid. UNRWA hopes that the member states of the UN commit to facilitating a long overdue political process culminating in a solution that can bring peace to Palestinians and Israelis, and to chart the transition of UNRWA in this context. Finally, we hope member states will provide the support UNRWA needs to operate and to close the gap between UNRWA's mandate and funding model. The agency cannot fulfill the mandate without commensurate funding from member states. Again, thank you for the opportunity to appear today. Thank you, Canada, and I look forward to answering your questions.
So yes, come and join the gang. I'm Ehren. This is Question Period Canada. We do wonder about a lot of things here. We have a fun community where we watch the live question periods daily. That's a great time. Come and check out one of the live shows. We make all these other videos. If not, I'm just gonna show you what I'm learning. You can judge for yourself. That's the idea. I care about Canadians in the grocery store lineups that can no longer afford their bills, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to learn about Canadian federal politics right here. Like, learn, subscribe, share, get notified. Getting notified is important for those live shows. It really is. You'll enjoy the community. Anyways, crazy times in Canada. Till the next video, thank you for watching this one. Have something healthy to eat. Try to stay warm. We'll catch you next one. Thanks for watching this. Ciao, guys.